Okay, looks like it's time, and I wasn't ready. So, well, looks like that thing set itself up. Hello, everybody. Let me turn this 70s movie soundtrack music off. Good morning. How you doing? It's Thursday. You know what Thursday is around here? For those of you who are new, you probably don't. But I'd love to see you. I'd love to see you find out. You'll find out today if you don't know already. FTG Thursday, where we say fuck that guy, or fuck that girl, or fuck that group, or whatever. It's F them day, basically. And these two jackholes over here, well, they're an extra special kind of stupid that we'll talk about today. But there's a whole bunch more. So we're going to do the whole thing in just a couple seconds here. Johnny, right after the intro, Johnny, would you do me a favor? First of all, well, just play the intro. Play the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only P-Dog Knight.
All right, that's me. Stop the music and good morning, everybody. Welcome to Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the P-Dog Knight channel, where we are going to talk about some Schiffbags. I was inspired. I was inspired with that to come up with that because, you know, it's synonymous with what it sounds like. So, you know, we're going to do that. And for whatever reason, both Gavin Newsom and Adam Schiff, the jackholes from California, were trending today. And so I thought, you know, hey, we could call them Schiffbags. They're both from California. And I'm curious, though, if I did like a voice recognition thing right now, like, you know, to type something, I wonder how that would come out. Would it come out as Schiffbags or something else that is more appropriate for those two people? But anyway, welcome to the show. I'm glad you're here. I've been working on some furniture lately. Why this means anything to you? But if you follow me on Instagram, if you happen to follow me on Instagram, I found this dresser on Craigslist for free. And it was just like kind of nice antique dresser, but it was really, really, really jacked up. And I did some work on it, some sanding and fixed some holes in the veneer and sanded that all down and got a nice, I sanded the top real nice and made it a nice wood grain top. And then I painted the rest of it black, put new knobs on it. And I'm like, wow, this is kind of cool. Do I even have a picture? I don't even know if I have a picture of it. Let me see if I have a picture of it. I didn't think about that. So I'll show you maybe I can show you the before and afters here. What am I doing here? I need to go into there because it turned out really nice and I'm really proud of it. So maybe I'll show it to you. So here it is. So let's see. We'll do it in order. 1, 2, 3. There it is. So this is this ugly ass. Oh, wait, I got to make it so you can see this. You can't see if I don't do this. I got to make sure you can see it. All right, let's try that now. That's better. Let's see, go full screen. I'm proud of this, and that's the only reason I'm showing it to you. Let's do it just a little bit bigger. What the hell? I can't. Okay. This is just me being brain dead. There we go. You should be able to see it now. So this is what it looked like when I started. I got it free on Craigslist, right? And this is the dresser. It's pretty jacked up. And you can see that it's not in beautiful shape. It has all these little chunks out of it down here and whatnot. And you know, there's that. And but I thought it was cool because it has this little top thing right here, this top drawer up here. You see that? And I just thought it was really cool. So with a little handyman, little hard work and stuff, we ended up making it look like this. That's the top now. And that turned out really nice. Still has this little chunk out of it. I couldn't fix that in any way but still it looks cool. And there it is. We're going to drop that in our guest room. And it turned out really nice. And I'm just proud of it. That's why I'm showing it to you. Anyway, am I? Yeah, I'm not muted, am I? Okay, someone's saying senior moments. What the hell? Apparently, the watched coffee maker does not brew. That was the longest 4 minutes of my life. What 4 minutes? I'm not sure what you're talking. What is going on? What are you guys talking about here? I don't know. Anyway, what am I talking about? This is this is dumb. Anyway, so it's FTG Thursday. We're gonna have a few of those today, and but I didn't open a ton of news today either. I'm just mostly getting stuff off of Twitter, although I have articles. I mean, I have my aggregator. We can always go into that if I need more material, but I didn't do it today. I'm just kind of winging it a little bit today on FTG Thursday. But of course, before we do all that, it is incumbent on me to say hello, because that's what I do in this show. So let's see who got here bright and early. A bunch of you are here, and let's start with over on Rumble. Of course, it's Mr. Avocados Diablo who gets the bell. And good morning, Jimmy Das Hotep, Mike Savage, Blarg, and Next Gen Troll. That's everyone on Rumble right now. I'm gonna go click over to Rumble, and I'll bet you it says 12 people watching. Oh no, it says 13 today. 13 people watching on Rumble today. So that's perfect. It's so weird. If you're watching on Rumble, or even if you just have a window open, here's what I want you to do. Go to that window if you're watching on YouTube, but you have two windows open, or if you're just watching on Rumble. All I want you to do is say hi. Say hi. I want to see you in the chat. I want you to make my day and say hi. I want to see it'd be 12, because one of those windows is me, because I have a Rumble's window open. So if you're on Rumble, just say hi. If you already chatted, that's cool. I got you. I see you. The ones who haven't yet, say hi on Rumble. Just want to see who's there. Okay. Now, over on YouTube, first in the chat, is also Mr. Avocados Diablo, because, he's Johnny on the spot. Also, good morning to Somnambul Nation. How you doing? Jimmy Das Hotep's in the house. Also, Mike Savage, Blarg, Kara Soldier's here. Tony Kicker Comp. Are you new here, Tony? I'm glad you're here. Oh, you were here. No, I think you have been here before. I've seen your name before. Good morning also. Neil Masaki, what's up? Lord Stanhope's here. Maddie's in the house. Kara Soldier's here. I think I already said Kara Soldier. Fox P2's in the house. What's up? Fake news expert. JB's here. Thomas Cleaver. Kapow! You should chuck these long intros at the end as credits or something. The footage is very cool. Well, right, but I told you, the reason I do the 10-minute countdown is because it takes so long for notifications to go out. So I give people a chance to get their notifications, and then then more people are here when I start. Because if I just go bam, start right away, there'll be 3 people here and I'm going to be talking to nobody. So I like to talk to people, not at air, and then people come in and go, oh, what are we talking about today? Yeah, well, I give you a chance to do that. You get 10 minutes or so and you're good. YouTube keep fucking around. I might be watching here. So what's wrong with YouTube? Is YouTube screwing up? Is anyone else having problems on YouTube? Or is it just Somnambul Nation? Looks okay. I got an excellent connection, it looks like. That's what it says. All right, let me continue saying hi. Good morning also to my favorite Canadian Jaeger pony. Man Squatch is back. Nice to see you. Sorry, I almost blew it. Number 1 is here. Darren Root, what's up? I said hi, P. Dog Night on Hard Bastard channel. Oh, in the chat. That's right. I knew that. And that's everybody who's shown up. I suppose you have you ever checked the analytics to see how many people have historically clicked off during the 10 minutes? Well, that's why I put a timer on it. I'm sure that people do that. But that's why I put the countdown timer on it, so people realize that the show is starting, but they can go get a cup of coffee, or they can go, take a dump while they're waiting and then come back, and it should be close to the start of the show. I don't know. Maybe I should cut that out on the replays, because I know that, but it says starting soon. I don't know. I'm gonna ask my friend Hard Bastard what he does with that. But he deletes most of his shows anyway. But, I don't know. Just use Brave. Don't get that. Oh, you're talking about the ad blockers. Oh, the ads on YouTube. Yeah, I've been trying to figure out. I don't want them to insert ads for me. In fact, I set it up so they don't. And I've been curious how I'm curious how they determine when to put ads in. I set it up so that I would have to do them manually, and I don't want them in the middle of my show. Anyway, take a dump at someone's coffee. No, don't take a dump at someone's coffee. And Thomas, I do appreciate the feedback too. I know that may discourage some people from watching. But I mean, I have a specific reason for it. That's why I put a timer on it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. At least the people who watch here regularly don't seem to mind. And I think it's a lot more interesting when there are a lot more people in the chat once we start. To me, at least. And maybe I should do a poll on that someday. We'll see. Real quick, thank you, Jimmy Das Hotep and Somnambul Nation for retweeting the show that I put out, and also Somnambul Nation for posting on your own. Please share the stream. I'd appreciate that. Apparently, now the thoughts are liking the posts for the streams. They're not necessarily... wait a minute. Tokyo immigrant to the U.S., now living in Omaha. I love traveling, sports, and pets, and hope to make some more friends. So, I was laughing yesterday about the thoughts, the thought followers, the fake thought followers, THOT, not thought, OUGHT, who constantly are following you on the app formerly known as Twitter. And I immediately remove them from my followers every time I see them. But also now they also tend to, I get a bunch of them just liking posts. And I think part of it is, if they like a post and somebody else sees they like the post, then they think maybe they'll get some more followers. But let's see what Elsie looks like here. It's usually an Asian. Yes, it is. It's another Asian, cute Asian woman who, I will be removing from my followers line. So anyway, all right, shall we get into a little news? So things happening in the world today. By the way, Mike Johnson from Louisiana, I think they made him Speaker of the House. Yesterday I said the GOP made him the nominee. I think they voted to make him Speaker of the House, but it's weird because it's not trending. But a lot of people are saying that he is Speaker of the House. And so I'm going to assume that is true. Let's take a scroll down here and down my aggregator. It should be under politics. Politics, where is it? Yes, Mike Johnson was elected the 56th Speaker of the House. It was chaotic, but worth the wait. The speaker we need. Oh, there's some articles on this. We might have to talk about this. And we are going to talk about that. We'll get to that later, though. But some things that are trending. One of them is we had another. Oh wait! Before I talk about that one, it's a very important holiday. Tales of Gore, what's up? Welcome back, sir. Nice to see you. It's a very important holiday in the world today. And it's very appropriate since we're nearing one of the greatest children's holidays of all time. Not necessarily for adults too, because you get the sexy lumberjack, and you get the sexy nurse, and you get the sexy kitty cat, and you get the sexy witch, and it's becoming an adult holiday. Anyway, Halloween's coming up, and today, prior to Halloween, it is National Pumpkin Day. It's a National Pumpkin Day, not to be confused with things that you do in Arkansas within the family, but it's National Pumpkin Day. And so people are celebrating that. Here's someone with a Jeep, an orange Jeep. National Pumpkin Day. What's your go-to pumpkin treat? Is it pie, a spice latte, maybe a donut? Bet you won't guess ours. Well, I bet it's a Jeep, a pumpkin-colored Jeep. And also, it's technically Pumpkin Spice Month for all the white girls, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, so now before I scroll, because again, whenever you have something that has the word similar to pumpkin, you might get some really weird shit showing up on Twitter. So I'm going to scroll without it being on the screen. Good morning, Shrapnel. How you doing? And see if there's anything good for National Pumpkin Day. Well, hey, this is interesting. This tiger here has a pumpkin. Why does the tiger have a pumpkin in its cage? It's playing with the pumpkin, but now it's trying to bite the pumpkin. Why? I don't know. It's weird. Have you ever seen? Why would aren't tigers carnivorous? Jethro Hedor, how you doing? You got family in Arkansas. You're offended. Oh, you got that joke, huh? Okay, so that's that. Again, I can't scroll on X on these types of subjects because pumpkin might show up in the one of those, what do they call them? Stepbrother, stepsister videos. We don't want to see that. Now why are there animals with pumpkins on National Pumpkin Day? There's another one, a horse with a pumpkin. Why does the horse have a pumpkin? I don't understand it. Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, look at this. Now this is cool. Now, if you're into baking, I'm kind of into baking. Look at the crust. Oh, I didn't take that off. Look at the crust on this pie. That's some amazing work there. That took some effort to make that beautiful crust for this pumpkin pie. That's a gorgeous pumpkin pie. Although I'm kind of a sweet potato guy. I mean, they're not a whole lot different. But I think it's a black thing that I prefer sweet potato pie. I need to learn how to make that crust, though. That is really, really cool looking. All right, enough of that. Next thing on the docket. Let's see. Oh, we had a mass pew pew event again. This time in Maine, and here's the problem. What amazes me when you get this, someone says at one of these posts, 565 mass shootings in 298 days this year. Now, again, that's using the Gun Violence Archive numbers, which is very dubious. When you think the words mass shooting, okay, I don't think of someone robbing a 7-Eleven and 3 people get shot, okay, but they'll count that in as a mass shooting because it's whatever. I don't think of the good point there, Tales of Gore. I don't think of the gang violence. That's shit. It's just some gang shit, right? Some hood shit. When you think of the words mass shooting, you think of someone doing a random shooting in a place, that usually doesn't have any relation to the people there, or no relation, or it's not part of another crime. Okay, I think of a random shooting, or in some cases it's a shooting within a family. Okay, but when they use the propaganda from the Gun Violence Archives and say, well, anything that where 3 or more people are injured, about very few of those are actually the type of mass shooting that you immediately think of. But when they use it on the internet, it makes it sound like, oh my gosh, we didn't even hear about all these. Oh, so there's this many school shootings, or you think of a school shooting, right? So anyway, this jackhole in Maine, eyewitness account in Maine, mass shooter, at least 15 to 20 dead, dozens injured in Maine shooting. This is a guy who's running around Maine. I'm not and everyone brings up Chicago when that happens, but look, or any city where there's shootings on a regular, but this is an unusual event when one person does multiple shootings like this. So again, all the anti-gun people are out in force. One of them being, you can look, I'm going to just leave the link to the topic here and you can get more information on the shooting. But I want to talk about this asshole, Gavin Newsom, who's always also trending. And so he said, this one really irked me this morning. Okay, and you can go ahead and get your FTG ready for Gavin Newsom because he is well deserved of an FTG. In fact, I'm going to do it right now. FTG Gavin Newsom. There we go. Gavin Newsom writes, Republicans in Maine rejected a bill this year that would have required a waiting period for firearm purchases. They seriously could not fathom waiting 72 hours to buy a gun. Maine also does not ban assault weapons, require permits to carry a gun in public, require background checks on all gun sales. Now, what's funny about that is that the federal government requires background checks on gun sales unless they're person-to-person sales. But, and then he says, our hearts are heavy tonight. We need immediate action. We cannot sit around and wait for Congress. We need to amend the Constitution to help prevent tragedies like this. Oh, really? Good luck, Kevin. Ain't happening. But, so that he references this report from MSNBC, MSDNC, or whatever. Let's see.
Frank, stay with us. We have some new reporting. NBC News can
Actually, you know what? I'm not going to play this, but it'll be in the link here, right? Because this is the link to his post on the app formerly known as X. Now, what's fascinating about this, okay? What is fascinating about this is Gavin Newsom claiming that, well, Republicans in Maine rejected this bill this year that would have required waiting period for firearm purchases. Does Gavin Newsom realize that mass shootings, mass pew-pew events happen in California? Gee, remember this one? I'm just saying, I mean, Adam. This was this year, Adam. Or excuse me, Gavin. That was this year. This year. Where there were 2 mass shootings within a couple days from different people in California. And there, from the definition that the Gun Violence Archive has, California is the mass shooting capital of the world, or at least not of the world, of America. And so this kind of demagoguery about Republicans in Maine, and you think at this point a constitutional amendment, change the constitutional amendment of the Second Amendment would make a difference? We're a gun culture, okay? And you know, here's the other part of this too. Okay, I'm going to move on here too. So here it is. Doesn't his state have more mass shootings than any other state? Why, yes, it does. Number of mass shootings in the United States between 1982 and August 2023 by state. Now this is interesting because I'm not sure how they come up with their numbers, but California has double the number of mass shootings as even 2 other populous states like Texas and Florida. Okay, so, gee, I guess your gun laws are really working there in California, aren't they, Mr. Gavin Newsom? Now, not to pile on, but I'm going to pile on. This man was known to have serious mental health issues, including hearing voices, and had threatened shooting prior. He should have never had a firearm. But since you mentioned assault rifles, this is what the Constitution says about California. A federal judge who previously overturned California's ban on assault weapons did it again on Thursday, October 19, 2023, ruling that the state's attempt to prohibit sales of 70 automatic guns violates the constitutional right to bear arms. Hello, Septus Wolf. How you doing? And Tex AG, below set even. So, and I don't mean to pile on, but here we go again. Governors that live in glass houses shouldn't throw rocks. Crime Index California USA has California has a crime index above the national average, and Maine USA has a crime index below the national average. Now, I don't know what this crime index is, but property crime, burglary, larceny, motor vehicle theft, property, and this is like per capita crime. Crime in California is way higher than in California. So I don't know what Mr. Newsom thinks he's accomplishing by this dumbass statement. But certainly, again, like they said, you live in a glass house, Gavin. You live in the biggest glass house. Your state's a shithole. Okay? You're letting it become a shithole. Now, there are great people in California who live great lives and do their thing. And I don't blame the people of California, but there's certainly problems. The fact that they gotta have a special cleanup in San Francisco so they can have a conference there. I wonder how many people in that conference are going to get robbed. Now, and here's just a couple of memes that kind of fit this particular topic. Our inalienable rights aren't subject to empirical debate or contingent upon popular opinion. That's kind of just someone telling Gavin Newsom to piss off. Let's see, where's the other one? And then also, this is absolutely apropos. So you get a tragedy, and then the politician decides that they're going to make that tragedy their joy toy. This is Gavin Newsom ready to jump on, before the bodies are even warm. And okay, so that's all on that one. Now, there's another thing trending today that is very stupid, and that is Sudafed. Now, Sudafed's trending for a couple reasons. The one that is more stupid than the other, because a lot of people are now quoting somebody from Maine who said, it's easier to buy an AR-15 here than Sudafed. More people were killed in this one shooting than are murdered statewide most years. It's the fucking guns. Don't trust anyone who tells you different. It's easier to buy an AR-15 than a Sudafed in Maine. Are you sure about that? I don't recall anyone ever having to have to do a background check for Sudafed. I'm sorry. Do you have background checks for Sudafed in Maine? Maine's behind the counter and they keep track of who buys it. But I don't think they have. And again, and it's just over and over. Someone heard this stupid phrase and it's being repeated over and over again. Good morning, everyone, on this sad, somber Thursday morning. Remember, this Senator Susan Collins does nothing about making it hard to obtain this assault weapon, but nearly impossible without idea to buy Sudafed in her state. Hold up. Hey, you need an ID to buy an AR-15. Hold up. Hey, you need a background check to buy an AR-15. Hold up. Hey. What are you talking about? Yeah, you need an ID and you need a federal background check to buy a firearm in Maine. So you're stupid. You're effing stupid. Again, here it is. CVS removes cold medicines because they fail to outperform placebos. Who else calls bullshit? Oh, wait. These are different. That's the other reason it's trending. Shannon Watts from Moms Demand, I think, or some stupid. She's one of the anti-gun ladies. It's harder to buy a Sudafed than AR-15 in Maine. You know what? You need that little drooling SpongeBob character for this one. It's harder to buy Sudafed than AR-15 in Maine. No, it's not. Sorry, it's not, you morons. And again, someone else repeating it. Oh, but here's the answer to that. Here's the answer to that stupid statement. Guess what? It's easier to buy fentanyl in Maine than it is to buy Sudafed. That's a good answer. So now the other reason Sudafed is trending is because CVS removes popular cold medicines from store shelves, Sudafed, Mucinex, Allegra, Dayquil, because they failed to outperform placebo pills, apparently. And there was something else. Let's see here. Someone said, oh, where is it? There was actually an article on. Oh, maybe Gateway Pundit had it. Let's see if here. No, they didn't link apparently they didn't link the article. But they are products that are composed with phenylephrine, which is as the decongestant. The one that doesn't work, real pseudoephedrine, which is what people use to make meth, works and is likely behind the counter. So, but the other product apparently doesn't even work better than placebos. So anyway, but that's why that was trending. I have no idea what this guy's doing. But again, and then another one here. It's scary to think this cretin can walk into a gun store and buy several AR-15s with no questions asked. However, if anyone wants to buy Sudafed, they must walk into a pharmacy staff to check a database. Then they go behind the counter and are given one small box. Yeah, I don't know. And then they said one of these products is banned in the USA because of the risks to human lives. Well, no one's using lawn darts as to protect themselves, I don't think. I mean, although wouldn't that be the coolest weapon? So, if they had okay, think about this. Think about this idea. So the next John Wick movie, John Wick 5, okay? In John Wick 5, he's going around and getting ready to kill a bunch of people like he does. And inside of his jacket, his sport coat, right? He has a bunch of lawn darts and he just starts flicking lawn darts people. That would be funny. That'd be freaking hilarious. Hello, Anna Lynn. How you doing? So a lot of stupidity around this. Second Amendment's also trending because of this pew pew event. Did we just freeze? Yes, we did for a second. Are we still going on? Are we still going on here though? Okay, that was a local freeze. Anyway, Second Amendment is also trending because of this incident. Now, what's interesting when you go on here to Second Amendment in the trending topics on Twitter. Hello, Brent Hayes. How you doing? Lawn darts are banned. Yes. Nope. They've been banned for a long time. Man, I used to love lawn darts. We would throw them in the air and the last one to run away, lost. And you had to be very careful not to get hit by them. I'm surprised we didn't die when we were kids. That's one thing about my era, like the youngest boomers and the Gen Xers, right? We lived very dangerous lives. I'm surprised that more of us just did not die from just stupid shit. Like, for example, and maybe some of you did this when you were kids, because I don't see kids do anywhere. I see kids build like little ramps maybe, and they'll jump a little ways. But we grew up with, like every so often, about every 6 months, Evel Knievel would do some major jump over some major thing. Like I remember watching, I think it was, when did he jump Caesar's Palace? Was that like 1972? He jumped the fountain at Caesar's Palace. And then they had him on Wide World of Sports. He'd be jumping like 23 buses. And then they'd have him on some other show. And even the Grand Canyon thing with the rocket motorcycle, that thing failed miserably. But, we had Evel Knievel, right? So when we were kids, we all wanted to be Evel Knievel. And so we would have our little dirt bikes, because dirt bikes were just coming into fashion. And before you had the banana seat bikes, but then they started, putting the 10-speed seat on them and putting on knobby tires. And we would build ramps, but not just like a little, not like a little bump ramp. We would take a 8-foot sheet of plywood, right? An 8-foot sheet of plywood and have it up on 4 high, cinder blocks. and we would build a ramp, and we would like see who could jump the farthest. And, when you're a kid, you don't think, oh, yeah, the going up is easy, but the coming down, ooh, that could be hurt, And I remember one time, man, my next door neighbor was my best friend. And he went off one of those jumps, and I swear he went the farthest. But when he landed, he rolled the farthest. He went, and I'm amazed he didn't die. We did not have helmets. We did not. I didn't think he was wearing long pants. He was wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And holy smokes, he survived. But boy, oh boy, was that the ugliest fall I've ever seen. I don't know how he survived. He's still alive today, and that's a good thing. And no brain damage either. It's just amazing that none of us had brain damage. We would, you'd climb in trees, you didn't care, and his brother fell out of a tree once, broke his arm, but he lived. You lived real, we didn't have PlayStation. So anyway, I had Pong though. When I was a kid, I had the original Pong game. That was something else. Anyway, all right. So speaking of Second Amendment, Second Amendment is trending. This federal judge blocked New Mexico's governor from suspending the Second Amendment. Who else supports him? Hey, go ahead, federal judge. Daily Krasenstein. Shall we do the Ed Krasenstein voice? Both he and his brother are very upset about this latest shooting. And I don't even think there are more. I just think because we have this 24-hour news cycle and we got a constant bleeds that leads thing going, kind of like when CNN kind of came out, right? CNN, and we started really hearing about all the missing children. Like, missing children were the biggest thing. I guarantee there's the same amount of missing children now as there were in the 90s, but we were talking about missing children all the time. Milk cartons and every fucking news show. And you don't hear about them anymore, even though they're there. I mean, you see the posters out there and you see this people talking about them, but not so much on the news. Because that's not the big thing right now. Right now, the big thing is mass shooting, because there's a big faction of people who want to ban all kinds of guns, right? So here's the Daily Krasenstein. I'm sick and tired. Robert Card, the shooter in Maine, reportedly reported mental health issues, including hearing voices. He also reportedly threatened to shoot up the National Guard base. Stop it with the Second Amendment argument. It doesn't prohibit us from taking steps to stop this. Yeah, but it's the steps you take to stop it that may prohibit. It doesn't, okay? Why can't we just have universal background checks? When maybe someone in the chat can explain this to me, because I know that you have to have background checks to purchase weapons. Okay. And I only own one weapon, and it's a hand-me-down one-shot, trapdoor rifle. Okay. So I didn't have to buy it. It was a hand-me-down. I didn't get a background check for my hand-me-down rifle, but we have background checks. So federal background checks. Any business that sells firearms require background checks. So when they say, why can't we just have universal background checks? Does anyone know what they're saying? Except for the exception is, right? The exception is when I think person-to-person sales, or like in my case where it's handed down. But they want, it means they want a registry, right? Is that what they want? See, that's what I think it is too. I think they want you to have registry and license, which would infringe upon your right to bear arms, I guess. I don't know. Why can't we require background checks on all sales of guns, including all sold at gun shows? Again, that is false. Gun shows do require background checks. And in fact, you cannot walk away from a gun show with a weapon legally. Okay? You have to get a federal background check, just like you do if you're buying it from a gun shop or whatever. And the gun must be delivered through a federally regulated gun shop. Hi, Renee Mayette. So that is also one of these false claims they constantly make. Why can't we regulate AR-15s and similar guns like we do machine guns and sawed-off shotguns? Because they're single-shot rifles, just like any other single-shot rifle. They just look mean. Why can't we fix our mental health issues in this country? You are one of the mental health issues in this country, Ed. Now, let's see how many people point this out to him. Let's just go through the comments on his inane post here. Katrina Pearson, former, I think she was a Trump aide. Why can't we have leaders that focus on our country and our people instead of everyone else? Let's start there. Overflow of illegal immigration, she meant. Flooding cities, increasing spending, massive burden on healthcare and education, enormous amounts of drugs pouring into the country, public education system, welfare state, veterans treated like garbage, and so on. I'm curious, where does this mental illness come from, you think? I'm sick and tired. We can't let our leaders get our leaders to focus on the basics. So let's just violate the constitutional rights of everyone else. Oh my God, she's smacking it down. Because, criminals will stop committing crimes if we just create more laws. Liberal logic. Insert any example of Chicago's gun control statistics on crime as examples. I'd say California's. Let's stop talking about Chicago. I want to talk about California every time now because of Gavin Newsom's stupid ass. All right. So anyway, let's see some other answers to Ed here. Spoke like a person who's never bought a gun. In order to buy any kind of pistol, you have to file paperwork and go through a background check, which can take days to clear. None of that stops the pistol from being the number one weapon used in homicide in America. If you go to a gun show and buy from a vendor, they do a background check on gun sales that require one. Regulation on AR-15 would mean regulation on all semi-automatic rifles. Oh, Ed says, I own a gun. I bought it. Also know that I can walk into a gun show and buy a gun without getting a background check. No, you can't. If you do, that's illegal, Ed. That is illegal. Oh, he says if you buy from a seller without a federal firearms license. For example, I could sell a gun to someone at a gun show without being required to run a background check. No gun show will let you do that, though. They're not like swap meets, Ed. You moron. Are you saying someone in Florida can't sell a gun as a private seller at a gun show here without having a background check? Let's see what the answer to that is. I agree with you on this one, but only in some states. Oklahoma does not require private sellers who not licensed dealers to initiate a background check when transferring a firearm. Yes, private sellers, seller to seller, but not at gun shows, because most gun shows have to be registered too, I'm assuming. Let's see what else other answers people are giving to this moron. Let's see. Universal background checks before gun ownership could help a bit, but it still doesn't help with the secondary sale of firearms. I think that you were spot on with having help with all the mental health issues. In this case, it's clear there had been multiple calls for help by this man. The FBI knew about this guy, by the way. Hello, those ain't real dude, and select a boy.
Yeah, boy.
Universal background check. Oh, God. When they say universal background checks, that's not what they mean. They mean they want more government control. There are already federal background checks at gun shows. You cannot leave the gun show with a weapon. You cannot leave the gun show with a weapon. You must get a background check. Sure, the background check clears. The seller must send it through a federally licensed arms dealer, gun dealer, and you have to prove your ID then. So the idea that it's easier to buy Sudafed than it is to buy, or easier to buy an AR-15 than a Sudafed is complete and utter bullshit. All right. And then also the FBI is trending this morning. I'm changing topics really quick here. FBI is trending. Why? I can't remember why. Let's see. Oh, here, Chuck. This is Catherine Herridge from CBS News. Chuck Grassley's letter to Director Wray and A.G. Garland. I've been made aware that at one point in time, the FBI maintained over 40 confidential human sources that provided criminal information related to Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden. Oh, let's read this letter. Let's read this letter from Chuck Grassley. This is from, let's see, to Honorable Merrick Garland, Honorable Christopher Wray. Well, okay, he got something wrong there already because I don't see either of those two people as honorable. But anyway, Dear Attorney General Garland and Director Wray, since July 25th, 2022, I have requested information from the Justice Department and FBI with respect to legally protected whistleblower disclosures that inform my office of political bias infecting the decision-making process in the investigations related to the Biden family. Since that date, the Justice Department and FBI have failed to provide responsive records. This letter is based on years of investigation, including provision of information, records, and allegations from multiple Justice Department whistleblowers that indicate there is and has been an effort among certain Justice Department and FBI officials to improperly delay and stop full and complete investigative activity into the Biden family, including, but not limited to, FD 1023s referencing the Biden family. This alleged political infection breaks faith. Wait, infection? That's what he said. Yeah, this alleged political infection breaks faith with the American people, and it will ruin our government's institutions should it continue. At just one initial example, or as what? That's a weird way to say that. As just one initial example, I've been made aware that at one point in time, the FBI maintained over 40 confidential human sources that provided criminal information related to Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden. An essential question that must be answered is this: did the FBI investigate the information or shut it down? Indeed, if those sources were improperly shut down, it wouldn't be out of the ordinary for the FBI, as this letter will address. By way of initial background, since August 2019, Senator Johnson and I have investigated the Biden family's foreign financial dealings and business arrangements. On September 23, 2020 and November 18, 2020, we issued reports detailing our findings based in part on hundreds of Treasury Department suspicious activity reports, yada, yada, yada. So, but the idea that, oh my gosh, the FBI and the Justice Department had 40 confidential human sources that provided criminal information related to Joe Biden, James Biden, and Hunter Biden, and we didn't know about that, and poor Chuck Grassley couldn't get the information from them. So interesting. Let's see, why else is the FBI trending? Because there's a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, wait, what is this? So some people are saying, why didn't the J6 people accosted by the FBI get the same royal courtesy and invite them to turn themselves in like Representative Bowman, 2 tiers of justice? So this is Superior Court of the District of Columbia Criminal Division. You are hereby commanded to appear before the Criminal Division Superior Court of District of Columbia. Oh, I see. He got arrested, and they've invited him to nicely come in and have a chat with them. So looks like for pulling the fire alarm. This is Representative Bowman, who's been asked to turn himself in and face probably a misdemeanor charge. Well, I don't know. That might be a felony charge in D.C. for pulling a firearm alarm like that. Also, the FBI has a list of conservatives, and they watch every move they make to ensure they are not breaking any laws because they consider being a patron a radical idea. They somehow had no clue a man who was in a mental health facility and threatened a mass casualty event might actually do it and didn't pay attention when he was released. Defund the FBI. The only people they protect are in D.C. So, yeah, apparently this guy had issues that the FBI probably knew about, but then didn't do anything about. But hey, if you go to a school board meeting and complain, look out. He was on our radar. Here it is. New York Post. I'll put this article in the links. As soon as it opens up, there we go. Here's some live updates. 18 dead, 13 injured. Good Lord. All right, so here's the latest on this idiot. If my computer, am I refrozen? No, we're not. There we go. 18 people were killed in Lewiston, Maine, when a gunman opened fire in a bowling alley and a nearby bar Wednesday night. Governor Janet Mills said during a briefing on Thursday the person of interest behind the deadly shooting, which injured at least 13 others, though earlier reports put the number at 50, is reportedly a trained firearm instructor believed to be in the Army Reserve, according to law enforcement sources in the state. Wait a minute. So this guy They believe he's in the Army Reserve? You mean he probably would have had a weapon even with the idea of a no Second Amendment? Oh, God. Robert Card, 40, who was stationed out of Saco, Maine, and reported hearing voices and threatened to shoot up the National Guard base where he was stationed. Card, originally from Bowdoin, Maine, should be considered armed and dangerous and was reportedly committed to a mental facility over the summer and was released after a 2-week stay, sources added. So anyway, there's a whole bunch of updates on this. They're in reverse order. Police warned not to approach shooting suspect Card, according to the state police. This is a while back. So 15 of the 18 people killed in the shooting in Maine last night were pronounced dead at the scene. Oh, gosh, it's a little bit heart-wrenching. I mean, I got to be honest. It's not good, obviously. All right, let's get to the other jackhole who the stream is named after, Schiffbag. Mr. Schiffbag. That was inspired. Hello, Blue-Eyed Scream. I'm going to start calling any moron from California a Schiffbag. Maxie Waters, Schiffbag. Gavin Newsom, Schiffbag. Who's the mayor of San Francisco? What's her name? I can't remember. She has a weird name. Adam Schiff is trending today. Adam Schiff. Go ahead and get it out right now. Right now. FTG. Adam Schiff. He's trending for, by the way, somebody sponsored the show today. One person. I don't care who. Somebody sponsored the show. Where is it? It's over there somewhere. pdognight.live/tips. Anyway, let's jump and rumble over here. Okay, same group. Okay, we're good. Let's see. So Adam Schiff is trending. First of all, Tom Fitton yesterday wrote this. Outrageous. Courts let Schiff hide docs about abuse of Donald Trump and other innocents. Every American should be concerned about a ruling that suggests Congress has unlimited power to take and publish their private phone records. So here's what he was talking about. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton reacted today to a federal court decision which Judicial Watch may appeal, upholding the secrecy of controversial subpoenas for phone records issued by Adam Schiff, chairman of the U.S. House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence relating to the impeachment of Donald Trump. Adam Schiff secretly subpoenaed without court authorization the phone records of Rudy Giuliani and then published the phone records of innocent Americans, including President Trump's lawyers, a member of Congress, and a journalist. And now a federal court ruled today that Schiff or any member of Congress can't be held accountable for this unprecedented and potentially criminal abuse of power. Every American should be concerned about the ruling that suggests Congress has unlimited power to take and publish their private phone records. And that's what the problem is. The fact they subpoenaed them, probably not the big deal, but the fact that they published them and Adam Schiff accidentally made them public. So the Judicial Watch lawsuit sought the controversial impeachment-related subpoenas for phone records, including those of Rudy Giuliani, President Trump's lawyer, Schiff, and the committee are being represented by the Office of General Counsel for the House of Representatives. The phone records led to the publication of the private records of Giuliani, Congressman Devin Nunes, journalist John Solomon, Trump attorney Jay Sekulow, attorney Victoria Tunsing, and other American citizens. In their 14-page motion, Schiff and the committee claimed sovereign immunity, speech or debate clause privilege, immunity from FOIA and transparency law. Wait a minute, from FOIA law? You got to be kidding me. That the records are secret, that the Judicial Watch and public do not need to see them. Today's court decision suggests that Schiff and the House have absolute immunity from inquiries and subpoenas. Nah, I don't know. FOIA laws? I'm sorry. They shouldn't be exempt from FOIA laws. What are you talking about? So anyway, that's why he is talking about Adam Schiff. Real quick, thank you, Avocados Diabli, this first sponsor, small bullet in the tip jar, and that makes you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Avocados Diabli. He says, no, you do not tell me what to do. Oh, well, okay. I did not tell you to drop a deuce in the tip jar, so you put a small bullet instead. Thank you very much, AD. Appreciate you. You are loved. Other reasons why Adam Schiff, the Schiff brain, is I don't know why else he's trending. He's trending, though. Adam Schiff is the biggest lying POS in all of Congress. Agree? Well, yes, of course, he is. Schiff spent years abusing power, leaking sensitive information, and lying in order to hurt President Trump. Lock him up. Adam Schiff's facing serious trouble after a new report. I don't know what that is. I haven't seen the report. How are guys like Adam Schiff so out of touch with America? So he said, you might be Googling who Mike Johnson is this morning. Let me make it simple. Johnson is a hard-right pro-Trump leading election denier in the House. Sadly, this is what passes for speaker material in the Republican conference. Well, Adam Schiff, you're a lying piece of shit, pencil neck motherfucker that nobody cares what you think. So shut the fuck up. That was a little aggressive, wasn't it? I'm sorry. I feel bad. I feel bad because why do I feel bad? I don't feel bad. FTG Adam Schiff, you piece of Schiff. So anyway, Mike Johnson has been officially elected Speaker of the House. Mike has pledged to release the January 6th footage, promptly kill the omnibus spending bills, and is hated by the leftist Adam Schiff. Thank you, Representative Matt Gaetz, for making this happen. Hey, look, if the right people hate Mike Johnson, I will support Mike Johnson. Hello, Andrew Thorson. How you doing? His face makes me mad. I know it's the most, well, although I gotta be honest, he's like, I was gonna say he's the most punchable face in the House, but I don't ever want to even be thought of as threatening a congressperson, because I'm not at all. I'm just saying, because Matt Gaetz kind of has one too, but I don't know. Anyway, so anyway, he's one of the reasons he's trending is because of the shit he said about Mike Johnson. Well, good luck, Adam. Good luck. Good luck to you, because, the Republicans are still in charge over there. And until they're not, you're going to have to deal with it. All right. You know what? This is unreal. I said I'd get to this article, though. I said I'd get to this article. Here, speaking of Mike Johnson, there is an article in the Daily Wire about Mike Johnson, the new Speaker of the House, and maybe we'll finish with this today. New House Speaker has a history of bluntly confronting Democrats, and that's what we need. That is what we need, baby. New House Speaker Mike Johnson has a history of outspoken, blunt rhetoric when it comes to battling the Democrats. Here are a few examples. Last February, Republicans engaged in a war of words over the Pledge of Allegiance with the Democrats as the Democrats attempted to politicize the issue. Florida GOP Representative Matt Gaetz had offered an amendment allowing inspirational constituents to share and lead the Pledge of Allegiance. Ranking member and New York Democrat Representative Gerald Nadler. Every time I hear his name, I just laugh. Nadler. Remonstrated that the House already opened its meetings with a recitation of the pledge, arguing, I don't know why we should pledge allegiance twice in the same day to show how patriotic we are. Now, quote, I'm not seeing Mr. Nadler on the floor when the pledge is done. Most members are not present there. So it's not accurate that we do the pledge every day or participate every day, Johnson snapped. It may be offered, but we are not there for it. This is the work of the Judiciary Committee. This is the committee that is in charge of the Constitution, the fundamental freedoms, defending the very freedoms that the flag represents. It's a bit absurd to suggest that we couldn't take 30 seconds at the beginning of this important work to do that what should be done by all Americans. I wish we had done this 2 years ago. Also, Representative David Cicilline, if you know who that is, if you know who David Cicilline, he's a grimy little prick too. Anyway, apparently tried to politicize the issue by citing January 6th, then offered an amendment to the amendment saying, quote, provided, however, the pledge shall not be led by an individual who supported an insurrection against the government of the United States in any way. Johnson addressed Cicilline in his cynical amendment, directly declaring, quote, I think it is unfortunate that on the very first day, the adoption of the rules package by over-politicizing something that should not be politicized. You and I both know whether you want to acknowledge it here or not. This is about politics. This is completely superfluous amendment. You are making it political and trying to make a point, and we get it. I don't think there's any insurrectionist who's going to show up to offer the pledge. And if they would not be recognized, so this is completely unnecessary. Hail Hydra to you, Batman. How you doing? Nice to have you drop in. Maybe we should amend the rules to begin with a prayer as well. That would really offend some of our friends on the other side, Johnson stated. Oh, God, I love this guy. They made the effort in the last couple of years to remove under God from the witness oath here. That has been a tradition in the United States as long as anyone can remember. And Cicerone, the smarmy little prick from Rhode Island's amendment was defeated. Gates' amendment was passed unanimously. Now, in July, Johnson lacerated DHS Secretary. Oh, this is good. Here, we're going to watch this one. We'll watch this one.
Secretary Mayorkas, we have the frustrating responsibility on this
committee
of providing.
This is a good example of Mike Johnson and what he does in Congress when it's his turn to do some questioning. Okay, so here we go.
Oversight of your agency, but I have to be honest and tell you, I'm not sure exactly what you do at the Department of Homeland Security other than great harm.
Good question.
On your watch,
snap!
It's pretty clear. We've had record levels of illegal immigration, a rapid decline in deportations, skyrocketing fentanyl deaths across our country, and the Secret
I might be ringing this bell a lot.
The DHS component can't determine who left cocaine at the White House. In the middle of all this, you created this Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Agency, CISA, which is a division of DHS. And it's one of the Biden administration agencies that colluded with and coerced the social media companies to censor Americans' protected free speech online.
Yep.
That's specifically detailed in a 155-page court opinion that came out of the federal court in Louisiana in the landmark litigation of Missouri v. Biden.
Where you got your ass kicked.
Congressman, I have not.
Why not?
The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency does not censor speech.
Okay, well, the court found otherwise, and it's really curious to me. Actually, it's quite alarming that you haven't read the opinion, because your agency is listed in this opinion. The federal court looked at volumes of evidence over months of litigation, and they determined, among other things, that...
By the way, Mayorkas, he's a worm.
If the allegations made by the plaintiffs, the states in this case, are true, and hold on, the preliminary injunction was granted against your agency, sir, and other Biden administration.
Yeah, that's a good idea. FTG
Mayorkas. FBI. The court said it involves the most massive attack against free speech in United States history. And you're telling me this opinion issued July 4th has not reached your desk? No one's briefed you on it?
Oh, I have been briefed on the Missouri litigation.
Okay, but you haven't taken the time to read it yet.
Congressman,
no, hold on. Have you read it or not?
That's a good question.
Parts of it.
Parts of it.
Did you read the parts
of
it? That this is Orwellian and dystopian,
parts of it,
and that your agency is involved in a massive cover-up of specifically conservatives' free speech online?
Congressman,
here's one thing I like about him too. Here's one thing I like. I mean, and I don't care if he's aligned with Trump. I don't care if he's aligned with whatever. But he very calmly. It's never like a show with him. He just asks very simple questions very calmly. And it can be brutal at times.
The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency is not involved in such conduct.
Okay, well, the court found otherwise, and you stand here under oath and you give us these answers that we know are not true because this is demonstrably untrue. I'm suggesting to you that you're saying things to us under oath that are proven by the record to be untrue. Let me ask you about this specifically. CISA was created to, we call it the Misinformation and Disinformation Subcommittee of CISA. Are you familiar with that? MDM, the MDM subcommittee, you're familiar with that?
Congressman, I am very well aware of the threat of disinformation emanating from adverse nations.
Are you familiar?
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's not why. It's not why they created CISA. They created CISA as a propaganda arm that gets people to, that they were censoring people on social media, mostly Americans, against the First Amendment. And they got knocked down in the courts. And he's still trying to justify it.
Familiar with the subcommittee? Just answer the question.
I am.
Okay. Does it still exist?
Congressman, are you speaking of the...
Does the MDM subcommittee still exist?
I would have to get back to you on that.
Okay. All right. Kind of a big deal in your agency. I'm kind of shocked that you don't know the answer to that. Can you define what misinformation is?
Congressman, misinformation is false information that is disseminated to...
Excellent. Who determines what is false?
Congressman, our focus
No, who determines what is
Answer the
false
question.
in your agency?
Answer the
If
question.
you're going to pull something off the internet and collude with a social media platform to make sure Americans don't see it, who determines what's false?
Congressman, we don't do that.
That's not true. That is not true. That is not what the court has found. This is not a Republican talking point. This is what the documents show. We've had people testify under oath that say, and you just defined the term, you're telling me that you don't know who determines what is false?
Congressman, what we do at CISA, Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, is identify the
Ooh, Batman, don't compare us to the Third Reich, please. Don't do that. Don't do it.
tactics that adverse nation states use to weaponize disinformation.
Okay, what is disinformation? What is disinformation?
Disinformation is inaccurate information.
Who determines what's inaccurate? Who determines what's false? Do you understand the problem here? The reason the framers of our Constitution did not create an exception for quote-unquote false information from the First Amendment is because they didn't trust the government to determine what it is. And you have whole committees of people in your agency trying to determine what they define as false or misinformation.
That is not true.
Well, then what is true?
What we
Please
do
enlighten us.
is what we do is we disclose.
Now, I got to show you, though. I'm going to back up just a tiny, just ever such a hair back here. Because when you look back at Morgan, look at the guy behind him to our left of him. The guy, like, 2 rows back. Because this guy's laughing because even he knows that Mayorkas is getting ripped to shreds.
Please enlighten us.
Is what we do is we
He thinks it's
disclose
funny.
the tactics that adverse nation states
And
use.
also the dude back here on his right, this bad guy, he smirked for a second too because he knows Mayorkas is just talking out of his ass.
utilizing to weaponize
No, sir.
information.
No, sir. The court found specifically it's a finding of fact that is not disputed by the government defendants, the Biden administration, your agency, the FBI, or DHS, not in the litigation. They determined you and all of your cohorts made no distinction between domestic speech and foreign speech. So don't stand there and tell me under oath that you only focused on adversaries around the world, foreign actors. That's not true.
Congressman, the Missouri case, the litigation to which you refer, is the subject of continuing litigation.
But the facts were not disputed, and I so regret that I'm out of time. I hope I get some more yielded. I yield back.
Anyway, that's our new Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. It'll be interesting to see how it goes. Some people are, Democrats are complaining, oh my God, he's a MAGA total Donald Trump person or whatever. Whatever. I don't care. Johnson later fired. Okay, we already have that one. Oh, wait a minute. And then he tweeted out this. Secretary Mayorkas is the most dishonest witness to sit before the Judiciary Committee in my 7 years in Congress. He is personally responsible for the open border catastrophe, skyrocketing fentanyl deaths, and human trafficking crisis. And the American people deserve answers. So there's a couple other places where they have him. Another interview here, testimony before Congress, where he's doing the questioning. He does a good job. We'll see how he does as Speaker of the House. I think he was able to get the holdouts on both sides of the Republican Party to capitulate and vote for him. So maybe that's a good sign, although usually the people who are willing to compromise, I can't fucking stand. But we'll see what happens. Anyway, that's got to be it for today, guys. Thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. Tomorrow, I haven't decided what I'm going to do tomorrow, but I'm glad that those of you here made it today, got to see today's show. Please invite someone to join us tomorrow by sharing this stream. Hit the like button on the way out. Do the, if you wanted to sponsor the show. By the way, thank you for our superstar sponsor today, Advocatus Diabli. And I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 o'clock Eastern, roughly. Usually between 10 and 10:30 Eastern. You can do the conversion. I'll see you next time. Thanks for being here. My name is P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Links will be in the chat. Hey, this is P Dog Knight, and thanks for watching today on the P Dog Knight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P Dog Knight, and I'm out of here.